Hi, this is Bob from WAMS Tech, and today I'm going to show you how to create categories and weight those categories in TeacherPlus Gradebook. The first thing you need to do is make sure that all of your gradebooks are visible in the Gradebooks menu. So select Gradebooks and verify that all of your courses are visible for both first and second semester, or if you teach quarter-long classes, that those are all visible as well. The reason being is when we go to create our categories, we'll have the ability to copy those categories and the weights across all of our gradebooks that are currently visible. So again, make sure that they are. If you notice that you're missing some of your gradebooks, or if you've hidden some of your gradebooks, to reopen them, go to Settings, Gradebooks, and make sure that they are all active, that they are all checked on that last column. To set your categories, you'll go to Grading, and then Weighting. And here you can name your categories and set the weighting for your categories. If you don't have the weighting column, simply check Weight Categories. You can see you can toggle on or off the weighting categories in only one gradebook at a time, or in all of your active gradebooks at a time. Any category with an asterisk is unable to be deleted as an option. However, you can hide them, so then that way when you go to create a score column, those won't be an option for you and confuse you. So any categories you are not using from the list, simply hide. And then you have the ability to create new categories. Some of the defaults are homework, test, and quiz, but say I also give speaking proficiency. I can add a new category, and I can choose all my visible sections. If speaking proficiency only pertains to one of your particular courses, then choose the middle option instead. But I can choose the name of my category. I can give it a weight. It's worth 10% of the grade, let's say, and I can choose a color. If I want, I can be really geeky and choose a hex code. My favorite shade of green is that one, for example. And I can hit OK. And then this category with this weighting and this color will then be populated across all of your gradebooks. A little hack you can do. So by default, they give you a homework grade, for example, or a quiz and test category. But you're not allowed to delete them or hide them, and you have to set them manually across all of your gradebooks. A shortcut to that is instead of using the default ones, what I can do is hide the default one. So I can hide homework, for example, here, and instead create a new category and just name it something different, like HW for homework, quizzes instead of quiz, tests instead of test. Give it that same weight, the 10%, give it a color, right? And then that category with that weight will populate across all of my gradebooks, as long as I select it so. And it'll save me the work of having to add in the weight as well as change the color for that category across all my gradebooks. If that confuses you, just feel free to manually change the weight and the color across your gradebooks one at a time. If you need to change the name of one of the categories, just simply double click it. And then I can change the name here. And again, some of them are default, like quiz, for example, and I can't change the name. Ones that I create, I can go in and change the name. Please know this is your one chance to create your categories and weight them accurately before you begin adding score columns for the year. If you make a mistake when adding a new category, say I misspell something, and I've already populated across all my visible sections, you'll have to go through and delete those categories one at a time from the gradebook. You simply can't just change the name of one of, so let's say I said speaking proficiency, and maybe I misspelled it without the Y. Okay. And I chose all my visible sections. Okay. That means that the speaking proficiency category is now a category across all of my gradebooks. I simply can't delete this category across all my gradebooks. I have to go in one at a time to delete it. So to summarize, when you're adding a new category, make sure you get it right the first time. Otherwise, you'll have some legwork ahead of you. Now that's it when it comes to creating categories and weighting them appropriately. The very last step is to hide any gradebooks that you don't want visible in this list. Especially if you're a PE teacher and you teach quarter-long classes and you probably have 100 classes in this list here, you can hide the gradebooks that you don't want to access at any particular time by going back into Settings and then Gradebooks and then marking those gradebooks as inactive. So I can find my Semester 2 classes and uncheck them. Right? Or if I have quarter-long classes, you'll see that under the length as well. I can uncheck them, click on Save, and now I'll only have my Semester 1 classes in this list. Come time for Quarter 2 or Semester 2, you'll have to know to go back in to Settings, Gradebooks, and do your grades in the appropriate gradebook. It's really important to make sure you make these gradebooks active and to record your grades in the correct gradebook. It is a little tricky because even though this is my first semester gradebook, I still have access to all 4 marking periods. It's very counterintuitive. Right? If I go to second semester, I still have access to all 4 marking periods. So theoretically, I could enter in grades for the first marking period and the second marking period in my Semester 2 gradebook. But then when it comes time at the end of the semester to calculate the final grade, those grades won't calculate correctly. Right? So making sure you enter your grades in the correct gradebook, which is why it helps to hide the gradebooks you're not using in any particular gradebook, but also to remember to reactivate those gradebooks at the start of that semester and only use that gradebook to enter your grades. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at robert.petito@woodward.edu. Thanks for watching.